This video will cover notes page 3-3. So we are still solving one-step equations, but now we will be doing decimals and fractions. So 3-3 is only decimals, and then 3-4 is the fractions. So you still do the same exact steps. So we look at number 1, and it says a minus 17.9. So to get rid of minus, we need to add 17.9 to both sides. So again, if you want to draw your line down your equal sign, you can do that. These two cancel. Make sure it actually cancels, because this would be like negative 17.9 plus 17.9. A equals, so we need to do 32.4 plus 17.9, and that gives us 50.3. Again, to check, all you do is take your answer and plug it in for the variable into the original equation. So you would do 50.3 minus 17.9 in your calculator and make sure it gives you 32.4. Number 2. This one, it might be easier to rearrange. If you wanted to, you could rearrange it as n plus 15.3 equals 14.7. You don't have to rearrange it as long as you realize we're adding here and we're adding a positive 15.3. So to get rid of that, I need to subtract it. So we're going to subtract 15.3 from both sides. Make sure you go in order straight down. 14.7 minus 15.3, and we end up with negative 0.6. So n equals negative 0.6. And that would be the same if you rearranged it also over here. Number 3, remember when two things are right next to each other, that means multiplication. Negative 4.5 times p. So to get rid of times, we need to divide by negative 4.5. So negative 60.3, don't leave out the negatives, divided by negative 4.5 gives us 13.4. P equals 13.4. Number 4, we see the addition sign, but we're technically adding a negative 8.5. All right, so if you want to see this addition sign, that's fine, but realize we're adding a negative 8.5. So that means we need to add a positive 8.5 to get rid of it. So we would add 8.5 to both sides. That would get these to cancel. If you use subtraction, they wouldn't cancel. K equals negative 27.8 plus 8.5. Need to go straight down. Make sure you put that negative in front of the 27.8. Negative 19.3 for your answer. Excuse me. Again, if it's easier to rearrange this, what you could do is change it to K, because the K is positive, minus 8.5 equals negative 27.8. And then you would see the addition. Number 5, we're doing y divided by 0.3. So to get rid of division, we need to multiply. So times 0.3. So y equals 16 times 0.3, which is 4.8. Again, that one might seem kind of weird. So to check it, you would do 4.8 divided by 0.3, and it does equal 16. So every time you get an answer on your own, you should always plug it in and make sure it works. Number 6, 1.6 m, so 1.6 times m. So to get rid of multiplication, we divide by 1.6. M equals negative 9.44 divided by 1.6 gives us negative 5.9. Number 7, we are adding a positive 2.67 to W, so I need to subtract 2.67. Again, if that line helps you do that, so that cancels. 7.84 minus 2.67 gives me W equals 5.17. So you'll notice that I flipped the W and the number around. You can do that anytime you want. Number 8, when we divide by negative 8.4, to undo that, we need to multiply by negative 8.4. Those cancel, times by negative 8.4. So C equals 6.2 times negative 8.4 gives us negative 52.08. Number 9, we have P minus 4.49. So to get rid of minus, we need to add 4.49 to both sides. So again, I'm going to flip it to P equals negative 8.01 plus 4.49 gives me negative 3.52 for my final answer. So again, in your calculator, you would do negative 3.52 minus 4.49 to make sure you have the correct answer. Number 10, 0.26n, so that means they're being multiplied. So to undo multiplication, we need to divide by 0.26. Those cancel, give us n. 1.95 divided by 0.26 gives me 7.5. We have r divided by 25.2, so we need to multiply by 25.2, multiply by 25.2. So I'm going to flip it around. R equals negative 0.75 times 25.2 gives me negative 18.9. And our last one, again, these are the tricky ones. We see the addition sign, but you're adding a negative. So to get rid of that, we need to add a positive 19.4. So we're going to add 19.4 to both sides. Get those to cancel. X equals negative 32.1 plus 19.4 gives us negative 12.7. Again, if you want to rewrite that one, it would be x minus 19.4. Again, that's because the x is positive and the 19.4 is negative. So, same steps as when we were using our integers. Figure out what's happening to the variable and how to undo that, and then make sure you go back and check your answers once you have your answer.